All right, are we ready? Mm-hmm. Do you like my fit today?
Figure.
How unserious do I look right now? What is up, YouTube? We are back with a ham and glute day for you. I actually filmed this. This is the first YouTube I dropped. I have made a couple changes to it, so we're going to run through it again. If you have been following me for any length of time, you know this is like my favorite leg day ever. So I'm going to get warmed up with the multi-hip, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, I'm gonna get into some lying leg curls now. So move these over from lying leg curls. I had been starting with seated leg curls. I'm not a big lying leg curl fan, but I know they're a necessary evil, so we're gonna do them. The main thing I try to think about when I'm doing these is keeping my hips pressed into the pad. So I kind of try to maintain a neutral spine. I feel like if you lie flat on this pad, it puts you on too much of an incline. So I kind of more think about bracing my abs, locking my lats down as I hold on, and really driving my hips into the pad as I drive into the hole. Another thing I think about when I go to start the movement, this is going to be another one upset, but lift it off of the safeties, so then you're starting with your hams. So there the tension is off, initiate, drive. Don't set it back down, keep the tension on, drive. So I'm gonna do 3 sets here. Just did my top set. Honestly, I was shooting for 8 to 10, but I'm still getting used to this machine, so I undershot my weight a little bit and hit 12. I'm gonna do a back off set, shoot for around 12, and then I'll do an intensifier with that 1.5 rep tempo that you've seen me do plenty of times before. Explosive fibers code now. Jessica at checkout saves you, I don't know, 10% or something like that. But check them out. I'm always, what's the word? What's something cool the kids say these days? Cop that. Cop I need you. Little life update, I guess, while we're here in terms of show plans for 2026. I guess I'll be competing. We were originally thinking Rising Phoenix, and part of that is just convenience factor for me. Living in Phoenix, it would be nice to do this show. I've been to it every year. I love watching it. It's always a big show. But just started a health phase, clean out a little bit. I'm kind of still feeling like I need a little more density in my upper body, mainly my delts, and my quads are never going to be too big, just with how I'm built and what body parts tend to grow the best for me. So we're just going to do this clean out next couple of weeks and then see where we're at. It's funny. I see my check-in pictures and I'm happy with them. Honestly, I get video back from KJ and I'm like, damn, I'm bigger than I think I am. But like when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I just need more size. So we're either going to shoot for Rising Phoenix or do a much later, well, not much later show, but a later show in the year. So all that to say, no prep in the near future, but the distant future. Ooh! Wake up. So this is a little switch up from what I did in the last video. In the last video, I was using a machine. I don't love machines. I just love a good old-fashioned Smith machine. I did transition to doing free weight barbell for a pretty hefty duration of time, and I gotta say, I feel like working that in really helped with my strength. And then when I went back to these Smith machines, I was significantly stronger. So good thing to remember is keeping some free weight movements in there and just kind of rotating through and not becoming too reliant on these fixed guided movements. So when I do these, you'll see that I don't get an extreme stretch at the bottom. What I think about is keeping a vertical shin. So I stop the movement before my knees start coming back towards my body. And then I get a semi-slow contraction up, brief hesitation in that contraction, and then slowly lower. So see, I stop there rather than going all the way and letting the tension come off my glutes. So right there, up.
No, the HRT. The whole program, they're not going off.
All right, so I'm gonna do 2 sets here. Just did my top set, 8 to 10. I'll do a back off, 12 to 15. And while I catch my breath, I put up a question box on my Instagram this morning, and I have a few questions to answer. Are you single? We're starting off strong. Your favorite glute exercise and why? Also, you're a baddie. Love you, Delaney. You're so sweet. Favorite glute exercise, honestly, probably is the Smith machine hip thrust. I also really like Bulgarians, but I do try to view Bulgarians more as like an overall leg exercise as opposed to strictly glute. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the good old barbell hip thrust. Barbell, Smith machine, whatever machine you feel best in your glutes. Actually, I'm revising my answer. Heavy RDLs. Another excellent glute. I didn't mention it because for me, again, I view them as like an overall dense posterior builder. But any ladies that want to grow glutes specifically, you need heavy hip thrusts and heavy glute biased RDLs. All right, so last time I did these with dumbbell. Now I've moved over to a machine. I love doing them on this machine. I find I get to a point with dumbbells where it just gets kind of awkward to hold onto the dumbbell, and I'm have a big ego and don't want to lower the weight. So just mix it up. I'll go back to dumbbells. Then I'll come back to this. I like the Smith machine too. Whatever feels good, man. I keep thinking I'm seeing Jesus, but it's just a guy walking outside. I'm not even stoned today.
Oh god, this is heavy.
As a professional, how do you handle the scale fluctuations, if any? Well, there are quite a few fluctuations. This isn't necessarily advice. I will say I saw fewer fluctuations starting Retta because I am a person who holds a lot of inflammation. Like I'll go up 5 pounds after a hard leg day. So to answer your question, that is how I rationalize a lot of them. But when you're deep in the off season and it is actual weight gain week over week, I just remind myself that's what we're supposed to be doing. There's a phase where you want the scale to go down. There's a phase where you probably want the scale to stay about the same. And there's a phase where you want the scale to be moving up gradually. And honestly, as a figure competitor, as a women's physique competitor, as any sort of bodybuilder, you're probably going to spend more time in the phases where you're looking for the scale to go up than you're looking for the scale to go down. So cover up, don't look at yourself, just lean into how good you feel training, being stronger when you're training, and just embrace it that way. Okay. I have to take like 10 business days in between each leg because I can't figure out if I'm smoking too much or if I'm outgrowing all of my bras. So I don't think the answer can ever be smoking too much. So I guess I'm just being suffocated or I'm really out of shape. Whew. Fucking Bulgarians, man.
Yeah, definitely.
sets here. Top set. Back off with 1.5s. I love Bulgarians. I just realized I was doing such an old person thing. I was like, what's it say? Being a long femured girly, how long did it take you to start connecting with your glutes? I'm pretty sure I came out of the womb connecting with my glutes. I have a hard time connecting with my quads, being a long femured girly, sadly. So glutes, it didn't take me any time. Quads, I'm still learning. The one thing that's really helped me in connecting with my quads is basically just ignoring what all of the full ROM science-based lifters have to say, not because I don't believe in it, but because it forces you to not actually pay attention to your own mind-muscle connection. And for me, when I go through, I've talked about this so many times, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but when I go full range of motion, ass to grass, I just transfer all of the load into my glutes. So I do a shallower range of motion, and a lot of times on like a leg press and a hack squat, I envision the movement like a leg extension. So like when I get to the hole, I almost just equate it to how you would drive your ankles forward. I'm driving my back against the pad and flexing at the knee, I guess is the best way to put it. So just really paying attention to how the leg extension feels and applying it to all these other movements. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to some quads. Actually almost done, so I'm gonna hit 4 sets of leg extensions here and then some single leg hip press. So on paper, this day is actually quite simple. Not a lot of movements, not even a ton of volume, but this day kind of, it knocks me on my ass. I usually get home and am somewhat of a vegetable for the rest of the day, so. Ew. Ooh. Whew. Making a lot of noises today. So for these, I do 4 sets. 2 sets I'm going to do on the number 1 cam, which places the maximum tension on the beginning range of the movement. Then I do 1 on the number 2 cam, which is the end range. And then I'm going to do a rest pause set at the end here using number 5, which is the beginning and the middle. And when I do my rest pauses, I shoot for 10 to 12 on that first set. Then I'll rest for 15 to 20 seconds, 15 to 20 more like a count, not seconds. Then go again, aim to get around 3 or 4, another 15 to 20 second rest, and then as many as I can. And at that point, it should only be 1 or 2 reps. If you're getting more than 5 reps on your second set of these, your second rest pause set of these, your weight's too light, or you didn't go hard enough in your first set. So apparently I'm strong today. So I went up in weight and got 2 more reps than last week. So since I got 12 reps, I'm just gonna keep the weight the same and then almost do like a reverse top and back offset. So hopefully I can still get 8 to 10. I don't know what else I have to say. That's all I have to say. Ooh. I'm slipping, I'm falling. on. Got one more here. What's my favorite back exercise? All of them. That wasn't the one I wanted. How to keep a small waist while in a bulk and not feel or look so bloated, if that's even a thing. Well, first things first, I would say there's a difference between literally being bloated and just feeling full. I think if you're actually bloated all the time, you probably need to pull back on food, maybe get a GI map, see if there's anything that's actually upsetting you. But if you're just full all the time, you just need to learn to embrace it, sadly. That's all there is to it, really. I get full all the time, but I don't necessarily deal with bloating. I did run a GI map, not last year, I guess it would have been the year that I did nationals. And I do think all of us have at least minor things we can take care of, primarily because the food quality in the US just isn't the best. But aside from that, I do daily vacuums, I do daily ab work, I do wear a waist trainer while I do my cardio. And those are all just basic things. They're not going to make your waist smaller, but I do think they give you more, it makes you more mindful of your core control, which all goes into it. Ow! Which is a very hard question. Eleni wants to know what my favorite back exercise is, and I really don't think I have a favorite. I have been trying to be really consistent with pull-ups this off season, but what people may not realize is when I first started lifting, I was a deadlift freak. All I wanted to do was deadlift. And I would be so stupid. I would go in and just be like, load the bar up with 2 plates just to see if I could do it. Pull it like a freaking cat for 2 reps. And then do it again 2 days later. Which I'm not saying that's what gave me a back, but that was just instilled in me since I started training. And I haven't conventional RDL'd in 2 years, but I do think that's where a lot of my density came from. I don't see them beneficial at this point in my bodybuilding career, but I do think they're beneficial for anybody coming up. What else do I do? I don't know, honestly. Just do everything. Anyway, that wraps up this ham and glute day. I don't know why I still call it a ham and glute day. It's really just legs B or whatever you want to call it, but it helps me separate them. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Do all the things, please. Thank you for watching. Morphogen Nutrition, Jessica 10, saves you on L supplements and pre-workout. Explosive Fibers, Jessica. Have fun. Make it a great day. Peace, love, happiness. May peace be with you. Goodbye.